Hey guys, good morning. Today we're going to be doing 2-4 part 1, multiplying by multiples of 10. So we're just doing our tens. One of the easier ones to learn. So quick review. So we learned our zero property. Anything times 0 is 0. We learned our ones property. Anything times 1 is itself. So 7 times 1, 7. 8 times 1, 8. We learned our twos. We counted up to 24. Skip count with me. Ready? Make sure you use your fingers to keep track. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24. Perfect. We learned our fives up to 60. Go by fives, counting by equal groups. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60. Piece of cake, right? So we learned equal groups. We learned arrays, down, then across. 3 times 5, 3 down, 5 across, 3 groups of 5, 5, 10, 15, okay? We learned repeated addition. 5 plus 5 plus 5, 3 times 5, 3 groups of 5, 15. So today we're going to learn to multiply by tens. 2 ways you can do it. An easy way and a kind of easy way. So first things first, you can always just skip count by tens. Tens are easy to skip count by. You've been doing this since first grade. So skip count with me. Our big number is going to be times 12. So it's going to be 120. So just skip count with me by tens. Ready? Here we go. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 110, 120. So that's it. So like if you're multiplying by tens, just like 2 times 10, now you have the choice. You can go by twos or you can go by tens. I'd rather go by tens because it's quicker. So just go by tens 2 times. 10, 20, 8 times 10. Go by 10 8 times. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80. 10 times 10. Go by 10 10 times. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. 4 times 10. Count by 10 4 times. 10, 20, 30, 40. Now there's also something that makes it even easier. I like to call it the tens rule. It's not actually a rule, but I like to call it a tens rule. So what I do is if I'm doing 3 times 10, I pretend it's like 3 times 1, right? So I take the number, the 3, I put it after there, and since the 10 has a 0, it's just 30. So if it's 10 times 3, I just put the other number with the 0. So if I'm doing 10 times 5, I put 5, and then with the 0, 50. So I don't even have to skip count. So like 7 times 10, it's just 7D. You just put the 0 after. 8 times 10, same thing. It's just 8 and then the 0, 80. Or 11 times 10, you just put the 11 and then 0, so it's 110. 1 times 10, 10. 0 times 10, still 0. 12 times 10, you could just count by tens. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 110, 120. Or just take the 12 and add the 0. Kind of cool, right? Now check this out. For you smarty pantses out there, this is something called, it's kind of like the 0 rule. So say I was doing some huge math. People are like, Mr. Carey, how do you do such big math? And it's really not that hard, watch. So if I'm doing like 30 times 10, you'd be like, whoa, can you do 30 times 10? It's actually easy. You just do 3 times 1 is 3, and then you count the zeros. 1, 2, just put 2 zeros. 1, 2, 300. Now you don't have to do this. This is not 3rd grade. I just wanted to show you. It's kind of cool. Or if I'm doing 4 times 100, it's like 4 times 1 is 4, and 2 zeros, 400. Or if you're doing like 1,000 times 5, you say, okay, well, it's like 1 times 5 is 5, and 1, 2, 3 zeros. So it's like 5,000. Pretty cool. Or if I'm doing 20 times 10, it's like 2 times 1 is 2. And then 1, 2, 0. 200. So you can either just skip count, or you could just use the tens rule, where you just take the other number and put a 0 after it, and that'll work just fine. Okay. So let's do a few. Ready? So say I said 4 times 10. You would tell me 40. Correct, right? You would go either by tens, 10, 20, 30, 40, or you would just take the 4 and put the 0 after. So I said 8 times 10. And you'd be like, okay, answer? 80. Nice. Or say you said, Mr. Kevin, what if I had to do something crazy like 24 times 10? That's where you can count by tens 24 times, or just take the 24 and bring the 0 over. 240. Just bring that 0 over. Pretty cool. Just one last thing. For you virtual kids only, not sure, so I know you guys are missing out on some science stuff here. I want to show you guys. So we got our caterpillars in here. I'm not sure if you can see them. They are in their second stage of the life cycle called the larva, and they're getting really big. They almost doubled in size already. So I'm not sure if you can see them. They're getting a little bigger. They're kind of, that one's rolling in a ball. You see the little hairs on his back. You might see some webs in there and some other little brown dots. The brown dots is something called frass. Well, it's kind of like their poop. And the stuff on the very bottom, that's their food. It's ground up leaves. So we have these guys probably for about another, see, he's starting to turn into like, see how this guy over here looks like a J shape? He's getting ready to go into his chrysalis. And once he gets in his chrysalis, then he will be beginning his journey into becoming a butterfly in real life. Pretty cool stuff. Anyway, practice your tens, and I'll see you again tomorrow. Adios, amigos.